Hi, viewers. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're welcome once again to my climate story with Tosin. And today we have a very special and beautiful guest with us in the house, Miss Malika Yates, who is the Elite Miss Delaware Earth Crown. You're welcome on the show, Miss Malika.
Hello, child. Ni hao ma. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Malika. I am Elite Miss Delaware Earth 2019, 2020. And stay tuned to see if I win again for 2021.
You get our votes.
Thank you.
So, tell us, who is Miss Malika?
Well, how much time do you have?
Just go on. We're here.
So, I am a traumatic brain injury and cognitive concussion survivor. I am a daughter, a proud dog mom, a trained climate reality leader. And as Elite Miss Delaware Earth, I travel globally teaching students in communities in low-income, impoverished, and suburban areas how to live an eco-friendly, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle filled with kindness globally. For the past year, I have been using my entire savings to support my efforts globally, teaching people how to just live a more sustainable life. And I've even had to sell some of my belongings. However, I just started an environmental nonprofit, so we will see what comes this year.
Oh, wow. That's quite impressive.
Thank
And
you.
you said you've been doing that with some personal cost to you.
Yes.
So why did you choose to do that? What's the motivation?
Well, when I was younger, my dad passed away, and my mom and I bonded over her showing me our Cherokee Indian ways. So I learned how to protect, preserve, and live off our environment. And I just always wanted to teach my friends how to do that. And, the other adults that I knew that weren't a part of our family, like it's just always been something I was passionate about. And when I tried to start my program in 2015, I did receive some pushback from the schools I reached out to. However, last year, 2019, everyone was welcoming me with open arms. And it would seem like every event I was at, I no longer had to ask people. People were coming up to me, asking me to come to their schools or speak at, a conference. So I just decided that the time is now to take action. And even if I had to use my own money, which I did, I was fine with that, because the most important thing is to learn how to take care of our environment. And so that was my main focus. And I knew that, like, in the end, it will all pay off. Like, having my nonprofit allows me to keep my money in my pocket and actually pay my bills, instead of my mom being upset. Like, she loves the fact that, like, I do a lot of stuff for students, but she's like, okay, but you need to pay your car note. And I'm like, they'll understand the students don't have food for lunch. And so, I'm in schools introducing vegan and vegetarian options. And I just hope that now that I have a nonprofit, companies will see the value of all children having vegan and vegetarian options or healthier options in the schools.
Wow, quite impressive. Thank you. But at what point did you decide that what was important to focus on its climate change environment? Why not something totally different?
So when I was 4, I decided that we all should just live a more healthier, sustainable lifestyle. And so from then to now, we're not going to talk about how old I am, but it's just been like the foundation of everything. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading. I'm like, is that a question?
No, not a question yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just been the foundation for everything that motivates me. Like, teaching students my eco education program is very important to me, because the more you know, the more you can grow. And I know it might sound like redundant, but the children are our future. Like, that is the reality of the situation. Like, we're going to leave this planet to them. So why not leave it better than we found it? And so every day I make it my mission. I'm out doing cleanups, So if you guys are following me on my Instagram or even my Facebook, you'll see that I have a series of pollution videos. Okay, so outside of talking about pollution, I'm hands-on outside picking up the litter that has been discarded either by people driving by in their car and they throw it in the medium, or people who are taking a walk at the park or playing or having a picnic in the park and just leaving the trash on the ground instead of finding a trash can or the recycling bin. So 3 to 4 days a week, I am out in different communities just doing cleanups all around my state. And people now know me. They see the crowd and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're back again today." And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then I invite them, whenever they want to come and grab a trash grabber, some gloves, and two trash bags, one for recyclable items and then the other one for regular trash. Feel free to join me. And I will have a cleanup on September 9th. So I will be posting the information. And this is something we can do globally. It's not just going to be in the state of Delaware. That means you too can go outside and clean up and just tag me in it.
Wow, great. And it's interesting when you do this. Don't you sometimes feel like you're alone in the world doing this, and people don't seem to care? Like, are you getting the support you would have wanted?
I'm getting support, which is good, because seeing other people that don't get support, I never had a set amount of expectations. The only one thing I set out to do was it spark change globally. So my platform is the ripple effect. And I believe that by seeing me put my words to action, it will inspire other people to do the same. So I just, I put action to all of my words, and I just hope that I inspire others to join me.
I'm sure many more people are joining you, and it's just inspirational. Like when people can see that there's some form of consistency with the message and your identity with what you're doing. I think I read a quote some time ago that the activist is not the man that says, "See, the stream is dirty," but it's the man that gets down and also gets dirty to clean the stream. So that gives a lot of credibility to what you stand for, and that's quite impressive. And we need many more people to actually get involved and do that. And do you have any sort of personal experience that bettered that passion for climate change around you? Why I'm saying that is because, I mean, you're from the global south, global north, and America is a developed country. And usually when I get in conversation with people and we talk about climate change and its impact, it looks like the impacts are far-reaching. People could hardly identify them around some of those impacts around them. So what did you see? What were the pictures? What motivated you to start doing something about climate change or to believe in climate change?
I would have to say so I grew up in the suburbs, and then the school where I was attending became full. I had to move to an inner city school. And it kind of was a culture shock to me, because I went from not seeing pollution to seeing nothing but pollution. Like the streets, the sidewalks, the grass, the parks, the playground. It was something that you see in the movies. And I never had firsthand exposure to that prior to getting moved to that school, because it was the closest one to my home. So just living in that community, we had to move the following year. So I continued to go to that school because my suburban school was still full. And just being in that community, going to school there, it was night and day. There was a power plant that was next to my school. And now as a result, I have asthma and respiratory issues, which has me frightened to leave the house during COVID because I'm high risk. And which is why I've always been pushing for people to reduce, recycle, reuse, stop littering. And now more than ever, we need to put those practices into action, because our air quality, our water quality, this is how we're going to survive through this pandemic. So we need to come together, because our earth is something we have in common. So coming together to just simply, if you buy something, just properly dispose of it, or take 30 minutes to an hour to do a community cleanup. Even if it's not your trash, this is our environment. So by cleaning up in your community, or if you're visiting your family members or friends, just doing a 30-minute cleanup can have a huge impact in our environment. So it was when I was in middle school and I had to go to an inner city school that I actually saw the effects of climate change, and the health effects. Like, we didn't have anyone there speaking up for our community, saying, you know, we shouldn't have a power plant here. No one knew what to do. No one knew that there was something that we could do to get that power plant removed. And so I'm not the only one. Generations after me, like after I left that school, I graduated, I moved back to the suburbs. Like, I still have close ties in that school. I still do stuff to volunteer and support that school. And I'm learning that every class, the students there have asthma. People in that community have asthma and respiratory issues. And it's only going to get better if we band together. Eco education is so important. Knowing that doing a community cleanup can reduce the pollution and increase our air quality and make it better, like, that's knowledge everyone should have. Like, that information is free. And so I created a piece of legislation that I hope will not only get passed on the local level, but on the state level. And I hope that it will be a ripple effect, that different states and countries will adopt my equal education bill, because environmental education is very important. And if our future generations are going to have hope and a clean, safe environment to be born into, then we need to start teaching them how to take care of the land, how to protect and preserve our earth.
Great. Can you shed more light on what the bill is all about? What did you hope to achieve?
So I hope to achieve to get my eco education program in every school around the world at no cost to the schools. So this will be free, but added to the curriculum. And just teaching students how to reduce, recycle, reuse, rethink, respect one another and our environment.
Oh, cool. That's quite creative.
Thank you.
Thank you. But you personally have a reason to go out to clean. How can you help people to find motivation to be like self-starter? For instance, I'm not sure I don't know in your situation whether you started doing this because you saw some other people doing it and you decided to follow and you caught on with the momentum. But for some other people, they expect some other, like some form of leadership, someone providing a space that they can also plug into. But for places where there are nobody leading action, what can people do? How can they be like self-start and provide leadership and be the leaders that we all create to see in the world?
Well, I'm currently taking part in a Climate Action International Challenge. I'm a mentor in that, and I just finished being a mentor for the second time with the Global Climate Reality Training. So if they need a leader, they can come to me and I can mentor them on how they can be the change they wish to see in the world and become a climate leader. Wow. So I would simply empower them to help them empower others and spark change globally.
So how do you do that if they're not within your state?
Oh, I do this globally. I have people that I work with in different countries, from Africa, India, Italy. Before COVID, I was in Italy 15 times, like a year. So yeah, I do this globally, and I do it all through my social media, via email, interviews like this. I do conferences globally as well. So just reach out to me.
Okay, great. And that will be what to contact. So maybe we can share.
On social media, it's Elite Miss Delaware. That's ELITEMISSDELAWARE. And then my email address is elitemissde. That's ELITEMISSDE@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, great. Now you go around the world to do this wonderful work, and don't tell me it's been all rosy. Now, because one saying this is because I know as we try to pump people up to go to the communities to do some of this work you do, sometimes we don't let them know some of the challenges that may come across.
Yes.
And that may set them back. So what keeps you on? What are some of the challenges you've experienced in this? Can you share some of the experience with us?
Yes. So without naming schools, the particular school I went to in 2005, I thought that my eco education program would be received well because I had ties with this school. However, they were not ready to add that to the curriculum or even have like a workshop or just like me even come in to talk like 20 minutes. So now I find when I go to different schools, I just establish a rapport with either the principal or teachers. Like, I know that they know that this is important because I've already had the conversation. I found common ground. And when I reach out to them, we have that connection. We're on the same page. Has there been pushback when I go to speak to different members in government? Yes. However, I speak from the point of I, and I don't use words like climate crisis or climate change. Instead, I use pollution because pollution is easier for everyone to receive because you see the litter on the ground and it causes air pollution and, soil, the chemicals will leach into the soil and, chemicals will then be in our crops and in our water. So that's something that people feel comfortable talking about. So I would say knowing your audience and doing research before you reach out is very important. And then for any reason, if you still receive pushback, that's okay. Probability. Not everyone's gonna like your ideals or want to even join you on your mission. However, when they see their friends, their colleagues getting involved, then they may be more inclined to join you and help spark change globally. So I would say just stick with it and be determined. Like, this is something that is really important. And if it's something that you're passionate about, then you won't be deterred from like 1 to 5 people saying no, because with those 1 to 5 no's, you'll probably get 100 yeses.
That's very true and instructive. But how can why should young people be interested in environmental causes?
Because this is their environment. We're going to leave this earth to them. So they should learn how to properly take care of it, not just for their generation, but for future generations to come, so they can be the leaders, so they can teach others.
So, but how can they find that reason to do it? Should they be doing it simply because it's a feature that they look forward to participating in, that they're protecting? Or how can they also mobilize? What are the tools that are available for young people to get other people to plug into it and get like organized to do some of the cleanups you identified?
So I would say, one, what their motivation should be is whatever is personal to them, whether they want their grandparents to live longer and have like a healthy life and, not be around so much pollution, or if they just want to be able to grow and get rid of asthma or whatever respiratory issues they have or seasonal allergy, like whatever their why is, because it should be personal to them, because that personal motivation, it's what's going to drive them. That's going to be their passion, and it's going to make them unstoppable. So I would say find out your why. And once you have that, like, just endless possibilities, opportunities will arise. Just never be discouraged by someone telling you no. I auditioned for professional cheerleading. I can't even begin to tell you how many times, because I don't have enough fingers right now to count how many times. But I was told no 8 out of 10 times. 2 times I received the yes, I made it to finals. And because of a coin toss, I did not make those 2 teams. But I made it to the finals. I was a semi-pro cheerleader, but not one time did I ever stop trying or believing in myself. Because when you find something that you're really passionate about, those no's won't stop you. You let those no's be the fuel that fires you, that keeps you going at night, because you know that you're doing something bigger than yourself, something greater that's really important. And I would say the tools that they can use, just reaching out to either your teachers, your guardians, your parents, and even if it's like your older sibling, and expressing interest in doing like a community cleanup. That way, they'll know that you're interested, and then they can reach out to the proper channels. So I know if you live here in the United States, you're able to reach out to different members and local government, and you can even reach out to your city works, and then they can supply you with free trash bags, trash grabbers, and a safety vest. But it starts with just reaching out. And if you need like a sample template to send that to people, again, reach out to me and I will provide you with what you need. If you need help finding out what department you need to reach out to, send me an email or a private message. I will find out who is in charge in your state, and I will draft that email and provide you with the email address. That way you can get the tools you need to help clean up your community. If you live in a different country, still reach out to me and I will figure out how to get those tools to you in your country. But remember, we are in this together, and together we can spark change globally.
Wow, we're in this together, and together we can create the change. Oh, that's quite inspirational. Thank you so much. But how do you bring awareness through this course using your position?
I bring awareness by doing a number of things. First, I do live social media days. I create videos and I post them on my social media. And then I just post regular written posts, sometimes with visual aids. And then I go out, I do action, and I capture it, whether it's by video or by photos, just to show you this is what I was talking about this day, and this is how I put it into action. Because oftentimes just seeing something like written down, it's like, okay, I see that. But when you see how to actually implement that in your everyday lifestyles, then the light bulb goes off and you're able to connect the dots. So my method, I show you A through Z, how to spark change firsthand, how to reduce your waste, how to recycle, what recycling means. Like I break it down and I make it easy. And then when I'm able to afford to either purchase supplies or partner with different companies to get those supplies into impoverished and low income communities, I do just that. And I still continue with my message. I'm like, this is why we need to reuse reusable bags. Like, this is what they're for. This is how it helps reduce whether it be regular pollution or chemicals that can cause cancer. Like in certain areas we have cancer clusters. So just knowing, like, by eliminating plastic from your life, you're not only doing something good for the environment, but you're also doing something good for yourself, and you're actually extending your life cycle. So just like knowing little things that can help you is very, very vital to survival. Ooh, I can't hear you.
Oh, thank you. I was on music. So, but why is it important for us to be concerned about the 3 hours of waste management: reduce, reuse, recycle? I mean, I want to be responsible,
So,
and all I just want to do is just to put my waste in the bin. Why ask me to reduce?
well, knowing that your trash, your waste goes to like a dump, and then they burn it, and then all of the chemicals are then polluting the air quality, and like certain areas that you drive by in different states have like those trash landfills, and then you see it and you smell it as you drive by, and it's not a pretty sight at all. But if we reduce our waste, like if we start reusing things, for example, some people use the cotton pads to wash their face off. Well, I have reusable pads. So I will either use an old t-shirt, cut that up, and I make it to a face washcloth, or you're able to also buy the face round cloth pads that are reusable, and you just simply wash them whenever you are washing a load of clothes, or if you're going to wash some stuff out by hand, and you can reuse them. Now, that not only saves you hundreds of dollars a year, if thousands, it depends on what the price point is where you're buying this, because I live in Delaware, so I live in a tax-free state, but some people, like, the taxes are very high. So it can range from hundreds to thousands that you'll be saving by just switching to reusable options. Then you're not only doing something good for yourself to save money, but you're doing something good for the environment because you're now reducing your waste. And the same with like milk cartons. You can turn them into bird feeders. So again, you're not doing something good just for yourself and the birds, but you're also doing something good for the environment. You're helping our wildlife. So just like knowing these little things, which is all, like, I teach these in my eco education program, but knowing how to do these little things to reduce your waste and reuse, like, you'll, like, if we all did this on a global scale, like, we can spark change globally and reduce some of the air pollution, and hopefully by 2045 maybe eliminate it completely. Like, if we just come together, like, there's nothing that we can't accomplish, but it starts with knowing how to do these things. So reducing your waste is important because you don't want to have air pollution, water pollution. Recycling is important because certain materials are able to, like, change into new materials. Like, I know that they have some containers that when you recycle them, they turn into the same container, just, recycled. And so, like, I buy recycled items. Like, some of the packaging that I have, it literally says made out of recycled boxes. So, like, I buy sustainable products, but then my sustainable products come in sustainable packaging. And over here, I've even switched. So I don't use plastic. I broke out with plastic, and I have a glass container. So inside my glass container, it holds anything from my vegan marshmallows, cereal, like, you name it. Like, you don't have to buy single-use plastics because there are so many amazing alternatives. I have bamboo utensils that I take with me when I'm eating out, and I use my usable bamboo cutlery. And when I'm cooking in the kitchen, I'm using, my bamboo utensils so my pans don't get scratched. So it's just like, these things aren't only sustainable, but one, they save you money in the long run. Two, you're doing something great for the environment. And three, you are getting such longevity out of the items that you already have at home, because when you're cooking, your pans aren't being scratched. If they're not scratched, you don't have to get rid of them. So just knowing these little things that you can do to change your everyday habits, like, they are so essential to our survival.
Thank you so much. Would you, for the purpose of people who are just joining, repeat where they can find more information about you?
Yes.
And do you have some of those resources online that people can tap into?
Yes. So my social media handles are Elite Miss Delaware, ELITEMISSDELAWARE. That's my Facebook and Instagram. My email address is elitemissde@gmail.com. That's ELITEMISSDE@gmail.com. I have posted some resources where they can see the videos and the different handouts that I give out. Also, if you email me or inbox me, I can email you these resources as well. And you guys stay tuned because I have more resources coming. Since school has started back, I have some amazing surprises for you guys. So I am so excited. I cannot wait. And just make sure that you connect with me so you can learn how to spark change in your community and globally.
Wow. Great. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time with you. Quite a lot of learning, even for me personally too. And thank you for inspiring us with what you do, not just what you say, but through your lifestyle.
Thank you.
And also caught one other lesson that I can also add to my life and to the work I do locally in my environmental concern. And now, before you leave, I usually read a poem. It could be a prayer, depending on how you see it. Or it could be a word of thank you that I share with people like you who are working in different communities, helping to protect and preserve our environment. And it goes thus: thank you for all those who are moved in their lives to heal and to protect the earth in small ways and in large ways. Blessing on the composters, the gardeners, the breeders of worm and mushroom, the soil builders, those who cleanse the water and purify the air, all those who clean up the messes others have made. Blessing on those who defend the trees, who plant trees, who guard the forest, who renew the forest. Blessing on those who heal the city and who bring them alive again with excitement, creativity, and love. Gratitude and blessings to all who stand against greed, who risk themselves, to those who have bled and have been wounded, and to all who have given their lives in service of the earth. Thank you so much, Ms. Malika Yates. It's been a wonderful time with you today. I hope we have another opportunity in the future to have a conversation again. And thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you. I would love to come back whenever you invite me. And I just wanted to mention part of my eco education program is teaching children how to plant trees as well, and the importance of trees and how they help our environment. So it was so amazing to hear that you put that in your poem because it's very important.
Yes, that's true. Thank you once again. So viewers, thank you for joining us today. We'll have a wonderful time and an interesting time with Ms. Malika Yates. And I will come your way again next week with another Earth warrior, Earth champion, people who are giving all that we all may live in a place and a planet that is habitable, a planet that we hope that with pride we can bequeath to people in the future tomorrow. But it's not going to be automatic. It's got to be, we have to get down and get dirty. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.